Good morning, Ma'am Bitge. My name is Kyla Joy G. Barona, BS Ed 3 of Social Studies major. So, our topic was all about problem solving and creativity. So, I'm gonna introduce to you the problem solving and creativity. So, introduction. Problem solving and creativity go hand in hand. You need to be zesty in order to solve a problem, and it is unfortunate that these are not adequately taught into classroom. So this is the introduction of problem solving and creativity. So next we need to proceed the problem solving creativity organizer. So dito malalaman natin sa problem solving creativity meron siyang dalawang nakapaloob sa problem solving and creativity, which are the Torrance creativity and framework and creative problem solving or CPS. So under sa Torrance creativity framework, nandito yung fluency, flexibility, elaboration, originality. So those are nakapaloob sa Torrance creativity and framework. Next, dito sa creative problem solving or CPS, ang nakapaloob lamang dito is isa. And ito yung 6 stages of CPS. So, under sa grupo namin, so ako yung mag-i-introduce nito and the rest, sila na yung magdi-discuss sa Torrance Creativity Framework and the CPS or the Creative Problem Solving. So, next, we proceed to Edward Paul Torrance. So, sino nga ba si Edward Paul Torrance? So, si Edward Paul Torrance was a renowned American psychologist and educator, best known for his pioneering work in the field of creativity. He is widely considered one of the founders of the modern creativity modern creativity, developing numerous tests and theories that have significantly impacted how he understand and nurture creative potential. So si Edward Paul Turner was born in 1995 in Alabama and received his early education at the University of Alabama. So he went on pursue higher studies at the sorry ma'am for the distraction. So he went on the pursue higher education studies at the University of Minnesota, where he earned his PH or Doctor in Education Psychology in 1940. So his doctoral dissertation focused on the development of tests to measure creative thinking, which laid the foundation for his future research. So yung time na nabubuhay pa si Edward Paul Turner, meron siyang contribution sa kanyang study. And these are the field of creativity are vast and influential. So, nag-develop siya ng Torrance test of creativity thinking. So, ito yung TTCT. So, a wide use of battery of tests designed to assess different aspects of creativity thinking, including fluency, flexibility, originality, and elaboration. So, the TTC has been used extensively in the educational settings, research studies, and talent identification program. So, under sa research na yon ni Edward Paul Torrance, so meron tayong apat na binigay na research na creativity ayon sa kanyang pag-study. No, ito yung the nurture of creativity. So, he explored the psychological and cognitive process involved in creating thinking, identifying key characteristics and components. So, next na discover niya ay ginawa niya is the development of creativity. He studied how creativity unfolds across the lifespan, emphasizing the importance of early childhood experiences and nurturing environments. So, next na ginawa niya is nag-study siya sa the role of education in fostering creativity. So, he advocated for educational practices that encourage divergent thinking, problem solving, and risk taking, believing that creativity is a skill that can be cultivated. So, naniniwala siya ayon kay Edward Paul Torrance na yung skill can be cultivated. And lastly, influence talent identification and development. So, Torrance research has helped identify and nurture creative potential in individuals across various fields. So, ganun yung mga ginawa ni Edward Paul Torrance. So, conclusion. So, Torrance's work continues to be relevant and influential today. So ang mga nagawa niya noon is andyan pa rin hanggang ngayon. So, his contribution to the field of creativity have helped us understand the nature of creative thinking, its developed, and it's important in various aspects of human life. So, kahit wala na ngayon kahit patay na siya, si Edward Turner, pero meron siyang niwan na legacy or contribution, or his legacy continues pa rin, no, to inspire educators, researchers, and individuals alike to embrace and nurture creativity. So, next, thank you, ma'am, and the rest of my group mates will discuss more about the problem solving and creativity. So, thank you.
I am the second reporter, and my topic is all about manifesto for children. Number 1, don't be afraid to fall in love with something and pursue it with intensity. So, ang umibig sa isang bagay ay mas malalim kaysa sa simpleng pagkagusto lamang. 2. Know, understand, take a pride in practice, develop, exploit, and enjoy your greatest strengths. Ang alamin, unawain, pagmalaki, magsanay at bumuo ng iyong mga lakas sa isang mahusay na gabay sa pagpapaunlad ng sarili. Number 3. Learn to free yourself from the expectations of others and to walk away from the games they impose on you. Ang matutong palayain ng iyong sarili mula sa inaasahan ng iba at lumayo sa mga larong pinapataw nila sa iyo ay tungkol sa pagiging malaya sa mga panlabas na presyo at pagsunod sa iyong sariling landas. Halimbawa, isang batang babae na inaasahan na maging doktor. Maaring marami sa kanyang pamilya ang nagnanais na maging doktor siya. Pero kung ang kanyang tunay na hilig ay ang pagiging mentor, dapat niyang sundin ang kanyang puso at ituloy ito ng pagpipili. 5. Don't waste energy trying to be well-rounded. Huwag mag-aksaya ng enerhiya sa pagsisikap na maging maayos. Halimbawa, may deadline ka sa isang proyekto sa trabaho. Imbis na paulit-ulit na i-edit ang isang bahagi hanggang sa maging perfecto, tapusin mo muna ang buong proyekto. Maaari mo nang ipulis ang mga detalye pagkatapos. Ang mahalaga ay matapos mo ito sa takdang oras. Ang pagiging perfectionista ay maaaring maging hadlang sa pagiging produktibo. Mas mabuting tapusin muna ang gawain at saka na ayusin ang mga mali. Do what you love and can do well. Gawin ang gusto mo at magagawa mo ng maayos. Halimbawa, ang paggawa ng mga bagay na kinagigiliwan mo ay nagbibigay ng inspirasyon at motibasyon. Kapag masaya ka sa ginagawa mo, mas magiging maayos ang resulta. Last, learn the skill of interdependence. Edward Paul Torrance, father of creativity. Halimbawa, may proyekto. Alamin ang kasanayan ng interdependence. Halimbawa, may proyekto kayo sa grupo. Imbis na gawin mo lahat mag-isa, makipagtulungan ka sa iyong mga kasamahan. Paghati-hatian ang mga gawain ayon sa inyong mga kakayahan. Paliwanag, ang interdependence ay ang kakayahan na may kipagtulungan sa iba upang makamit ang isang layunin. Sa pamamagitan nito, mas mapapabilis at mapapadali ang paggawa ng mga gawain. Hindi lahat ng bagay ay kayang gawin ng isang tao lamang. Dito magtatapos ang aking topic. Maraming salamat.
Good day, Mom. I am Gonzalo Cabasante. The topic that I will be discuss is all about the Torrance framework for creative thinking. It is important because it helps people understand and measure creativity. It shows that creativity is not just about being artistic, but also about solving problems and coming up with new ideas. And framework helps students and teachers focus on skills. So, ayon kay Terrence 1979, ang creative thinking process ay tumutukoy sa pagdevelop ng creativity, and it helps in understanding and processing information, and especially in learning or problem solving. So, the first one is fluency. The production of a great number of ideas or alternative solutions to a problem implies understanding, not just remembering information that is learned. So, it means ang fluency ay tumutukoy sa kakayahan mag-produce ng maraming ideas or alternative solution sa isang problem. Ibig sabihin, hindi lahat natutunan o na-memorize ang impormasyon, kundi talagang naintindihan ito at nagagamit sa iba't ibang paraan. So, there are keywords or primary terms, and the first one is compare. I-compare mo ang mga bagay, i-convert mo ang kilometers into miles, i-count mo, and define the words or describe the words and explain the words and identify the things, and i-label mo on list and match, name, outline, paraphrase, predict, summarize. For examples, gumawa ka ng reflection. So, the reflection is all about yourself. So, i-summarize mo yung experience mo para mas marami kang ideas na mailagay or maisip to write down notes para mas marami kang experience na mailagay sa iyong reflection. Thank you.
Morning, ma'am. I am Rielin Cabis na kay Tuna, the reporter for today's video. My report is all about flexibility. Okay, flexibility refers to the production of ideas that show a variety of possibilities or realms. Or ang or ang flexibility sa isang predictive model ay tumutukoy sa kakayahan nitong umangkop sa mga pagbabago sa data at mapanatili ang tumpak na mga prediksyon. Mahalaga ang flexibility para sa mga modelo, lalo na kapag nakikitungo sa mga tunay na sitwasyon kung saan ang mga pattern ng data ay maaring magbago sa paglipas ng panahon. And ang kanyang keywords sa flexibility is change, demonstrate, distinguish, employ, extrapolate, interpolate, interpret, and predict. Ang mga application ideas, like for example, is what would happen if there were no automobiles? How would a dog look like a flea? Ganon yung mga tanong doon. So, the example of flexibility sa predictive modeling is, like for example, isipin ng isang modelo na hinuhulaan ang customer churn. Posibilidad na pag-alis ng isang customer sa isang serbisyo. Kung ang modelo ay hindi flexible, maaari itong maimpluwensyahan ng historical data na humahantong sa hindi tumpak na mga prediction kapag nagbago ang pag-ugali ng customer dahil sa mga bagong kumpanya, marketing, mga alok ng kompetensya o mga pagbabago sa ekonomiya. Ang isang flexible na modelo ay umaangkop sa mga pagbabagong ito at nabibigyan ng mga tumpak na prediction ng churn. Also, once categories are identified, fluency may be further demonstrated by generating more ideas about the idea read within categories. Ganon. And ang isang modelo na may 3081 na mga parameter, isang medyo malaking bilang ng mga parameter na magmungkahi ng isang komplikadong modelo, maaaring mag-alok ito ng mas mataas na flexibility, ngunit mas mataas yung mga panganib ng overfitting. And that's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Ma'am, so my name is Johanna Espalti, so I'm going to report the elaboration. Elaboration is the process of enhancing ideas by providing more details, additional detail, and clarify improves interest in and understanding of the topic. So, ibig sabihin, ang elaboration ay ang proseso ng pagpapahusay ng mga idea sa pamamagitan ng pagbibigay ng higit pang mga detalye at mga karagdagang detalye at kalinawan ay nagpapabuti ng interes sa pag-unawa sa paksa. So, application ideas. Tell your neighbor about your last family trip using as details as possible. Originality. Originality involves the production of ideas that are unique or unusual. It involves synthesis or putting information about a topic back together in a new way. So, ang original ay nasasangkop ng paggawa ng mga idea na natatanggi sa hindi pangkaraniwang, kabilang dito ang synthesis o pagsama-sama ng impormasyon tungkol sa isang paksa sa isang bagong paraan. Application ideas. Find an original use for. What would be the strangest way to get out of bed design and new better? Is that the one you have? Write an unusual title for the ideas about red. So, examples ng application ideas. Revolutionary red representation. Creativity. An adaptation of the creativity aspect to the constrict jumping appears in a Word document that may be downloaded from the following link. So, ang ibig sabihin ng creativity ay isang adaptation ng mga aspeto ng pagkamalikhain sa mahigpit na paglukso sa isang document ng Word na maaaring ma-download mula sa susunod na link. And the last is Torrance Framework for Creative Thinking. A common framework for creative thinking process is desired by Torrance 1979. Each aspect is defined belong along with ways to facilitate the perspective aspect by using keywords and application activities. So, ibig sabihin, ang isang karaniwang balangkas para sa mga proseso ng malikhaing pag-iisip ay iniisip ni Torrance. Ang bawat aspeto ay tinutukoy sa ibaba kasama ang mga paraan upang mapadali ang kanilang aspeto sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng mga mahalagang salita at mga aktibidad sa aplikasyon. And that's all, ma'am. Thank you.
Shaina Tilingatong, and I am the reporter in Creative Problem Solving, or CPS, which is under Module 18, the Problem Solving and Creativity. So, Creative Problem Solving, or CPS, is an intentional process for solving problems and discovering opportunities. So, ibig sabihin, it is a process where you are trying to find a solution to the problem. So, another is creative problem solving, or CPS, is a process that involves generating new and innovative ideas to overcome challenges or to find solution to problems. So, it involves several steps, and later on is i-discuss ko kung ano yung mga steps ko on how to find a solution to the problem. In the 1950s, Alex Osborne described this process in his book, Applied Imagination. So, Osborne checklist, the origin of classical brainstorming is the root of creative problem solving, or CPS. There are a variety of general structure: define problem, generate possible solution, select and implement the best, which can be found extensively in several different academic tradition. So, the following based on Van Gundy 1988 description is a very brief skeleton of a very rich process, showing it is in its full 6 times 2 stages form. Stage 1 is mess finding. Sensitize yourself for issues that need to be tackled. So, ibig sabihin, this first stage is mess finding, involves sensitizing oneself to problem, challenges, opportunities, and concerns that require attention. So, this is achieved through scanning and searching for issues that need to be addressed. So, under mess finding, mayroong dalawang techniques, which is the divergent techniques and the convergent techniques. So, dito sa divergent techniques, are employed to help identify desirable outcomes and obstacles. So, mayroong 2K techniques. First is, wouldn't it be nice if? So, this brainstorming techniques focuses on identifying ideal outcome or positive possibilities. So, ibig sabihin, it focuses sa mga positive possibilities. While the second is, wouldn't it be awful if? So, this brainstorming technique focuses on identifying potential obstacles or negative consequences. So, both WIBN, or wouldn't it be nice if, and WIBAI, or wouldn't it be awful if, they are both helps in a throughout exploration of both the positive and negative aspect of a situation, leading to a more comprehensive understanding of the mess that needs to be tackled. So, let's proceed to the convergent techniques. The convergent techniques focus on identifying key problem areas and selecting the most important ones for action. So, it is a process of narrowing down option to focus on the most impactful one. So, convergent and divergent techniques has a differences, no? Because convergent thinking is, it focuses on thinking the best one based on specific criteria, while the divergent thinking generate many ideas. So, yun yung differences ng dalawang techniques. So, let's proceed to stage 2, the data finding. In a problem-solving methodology, this stage focuses on gathering information relevant to the problem. It's broken down into two main approaches, which is the divergent technique and the convergent technique. Sa divergent technique, this is a brainstorming phase that aim at exploring a wide range of information. So, paano yun? So, the key method described is using the 5 Ws and the H, which is the who, what, when, where, how, and basta yun. And how question generates. And first is listing information. Wants. So, pag sinabi natin wants, yung kagustuhan. So, identifying all the information needed to understand the problem. So, second is listing possible sources. So, determining where this information can be found. And another is gathering and documenting data. So when we say documenting data, collecting information from the identified sources. So this phase is about expanding the scope of information gathered, exploring various data. So yun yung sa divergent techniques. Pag sinaban naman nating convergent techniques, this phase naman focuses on organizing and synthesizing the information gathered in the divergent phase. So, first is identifying hotspot or highlighting. So, pag sinabi nating highlighting is you are pinpointing the most critical pieces of information. So, another is mind mapping. So, when we say mind mapping, using a visual technique to organize and categorize the information, revealing relationship between data or data points. So, last is restarting the problem. Pag sinabi natin restarting the problem, you are reframing the problem based on the insight gained from the gathered data. So, yun yung nakapaloob sa stage 2 and its two phases, which is the convergent and the divergent techniques. So now let's proceed to the stage 3, the problem finding. So convert a fuzzy statement of the problem into a broad statement more suitable for idea finding. So when we say fuzzy statement, yun yung mga statement na mahirap intindihin or they are yun nga, they are difficult to understand. So kumbaga you are converting it into a more or a statement. So the process uses both divergent and convergent technique. So divergent techniques, these techniques helps to explore the problem from multiple perspectives. So they include repeatedly asking why question, and using the 5 Ws and H, which is yung who, what, so to generate a broader understanding of the problem context. Convergent techniques naman is these techniques focuses on refining and selecting the most promising problem statement. So they involve highlighting and reformulating problem statement to ensure that they meet specific criteria. So the selection process also consider the mental exercise of refining the statement, acknowledging that this process itself contributes significantly to problem understanding. One Gandhi problem-solving process involved 6 stages. So the first stage is the math finding, the stage 2 is the data finding, and the stage 3 is the problem solving. And this will be the end of my report. The next reporter will discuss the stage 4, 5, and 6. So thank you very much.
Good day, ma'am. My name is Maris M. Natonton, This is the continuation report of sa inalingatang Creative Problem Solving or CPS. Stage 4 is idea finding. Generate as many ideas as possible, which focuses on generating and refining ideas. Ibig sabihin ng idea finding, nagsisimulan ng mag-isip ng mga solusyon ang mga tao sa isang problema. Divergent. Using any of a very wide range of idea generating rules of classical brainstorming, such as deferring judgment, are likely to underpin all of this. Ibig sabihin ng divergent kung saan ang mga tao ay hinikayat na mag-isip ng maraming ideya hanggat maaari. Convergence can involve hotspot or mind mapping. Ibig sabihin ng convergent kung saan susuriin nila ang mga ideya at pipiliin ang mga pinakamahusay. Pag sinabi nating mind mapping, gumagamit ng isang diagram upang mag-isip ng mga koneksyon sa pagitan ng iba't ibang mga Stage 5, Solution Findings. Generate and select obvious evaluation criteria. Solution finding in an idea generation and selection process. This stage builds upon the previous idea finding or stage 4. Ibig sabihin ng solution finding kung saan pinipili at pinaplano ang pinakamahusay na solusyon sa isang problema. Sixth stage is acceptance findings. How can the suggestion you have just selected be mined up to standard and put into practice? Acceptance finding is all about turning your chosen solution into reality. It's about creating an action plan, addressing potential obstacles, and gaining buy-in from stakeholders. Ibig sabihin ng acceptance findings kung saan tinatanggap o hindi tinatanggap ang napiling solusyon. Ibig sabihin ng acceptance findings, pagsusuri at pagpapasya kung ang plano ay epektibo at kung ito ay magiging kapakipakinabang sa lahat ng mga taong apektado. Other model for problem solving, Bradford Ideal Model. First is identify the problem. Pag sinabi nating identify, kilalanin o dapat natin malaman ang tunay na pinagmulan ng isang problema. Second, define the problem through thinking about it and sorting are the relevant information. Pag sinabing define, tukuyin ang problema. Ibig sabihin, kailangan mong tukuyin ang problema ng mas malinaw at detalyado. Third is explore solutions through looking at alternatives, brainstorming, and checking out different points of view. Ibig sabihin ng explore, magsiyasat ng mga solusyon o kailangan mong mag-isip ng iba't ibang mga posibleng solusyon sa problema. Fourth is act on the strategies. Kapag nakapili ka na ng isang solusyon, kailangan mong kumilos at ipatupad ito. And the last is look back and evaluate effective of your activity. Ibig sabihin, kailangan mong suriin kung epektibo ba ang mga solusyon sa paglutas ng problema. And that would be all. Thank you.